everybody, Totally Emerald and Detective Pikachu here, and today we'll be doing a character analysis on the captain of the Azure Deer, Rill Boismortier. The reason I'm doing this is because my favorite YouTuber, Teching101, a couple months ago, more than a couple months ago actually, he told us that he was going to be doing character discussion videos on all of the captains, which it's been like over half a year, and he still hasn't gotten to it. But hey, that's where I'm coming in. I'm going to do your job for you, Teching. If you're watching this, you're still my #1 favorite YouTuber, but you got my hopes up, and along with a lot of other people's hopes. I'll be doing the captains in order of what their place was at the last Star Festival, which, unfortunately, the Azure Deer got last place. But hey, to be fair, it was most likely his first year as captain, and the Black Bulls were in last place for who knows how long. Though Rill was freaking the hell out about it, while Yami was always all, whatever. Of course, Yami didn't even care. Which was unjust of him bragging about getting second place when he was last place for like 5 years at least. And he's the youngest captain, being at only 19 years old. So yeah, don't be so hard on yourself, Rill. You'll do better next time. Alright, I think a good place to start the discussion is with his backstory. So, like all 15-year-olds, Rill got his grimoire, and once he did, he spent most, if not all of his time in his room practicing his painting magic, trying to find his muse. But doing so caused a lot of destruction, which made his mom really upset where she was all, "I wish you were never born!" Yeah, she was pretty upset, to the point where their butler, Walter, marched up to Rill's room and slapped some sense in him. Literally. He literally slapped him. But not before taking a hit from one of his spells, which is how Walter got this scar on his forehead. At least it looks cool. Walter was all, "You'll never find your muse locked up in here. You should join the Magic Knights. Make your mother proud." And so he did. And eventually he became the youngest Magic Knight captain ever at the age of 19. His mother really must be proud. I know I would be if my son became a captain at 19. Alright, so that's his backstory. I think this is also a good time to talk about his magic attribute. So Rill has one of, if not the most versatile magic attribute there is. The only one I can think of that rivals it is Word Soul magic. And that's saying something, considering how that's probably the most broken magic attribute there is. It's in the top 5 at least. What painting magic does is, all Rill has to do is paint it, and he can make any attribute there is. Like a fire or water spell, a dragon beam. My favorite spell is God's Play, which is basically the magic version of Mirror Force. Actually, I think Zora's trap magic would be that Mirror Force, since it's literally called trap magic. Well, I guess Rill's would be the spell version. Oh, they're both called magic. What do you think, Pikachu?
I think they're both Mirror Force.
Okay. The only real drawback of painting magic is he can't just magically say it and it'll come true. He has to paint it, which really isn't much of a weakness at all, since Rill is the #1 painter, said by Tabitha. And compared to that, here, check this out. This is a painting I did of Piplup a couple months ago. As you can see, it's really bad. Yeah, I envy people who have the patience to make art, unlike me. See, it's horrible. The arms are messed up, the legs, if you can even call that. It's not even on the surface. Yeah, I have no skills in painting, or drawing for that matter. That's why I like mangaka so much. They spend all of their time, literally all of their time, drawing. Yeah, that takes a lot of willpower. I was saying, Rill's magic is very versatile, and Rill is a noble, so he has a lot of mana. A 5 out of 5 in mana amount, according to the data book stats. And in control. You know, actually, with those numbers, he's got to have royalty levels of mana. It makes sense, he isn't a young captain. Yeah, Rill's a beast. Alright, I've talked about his backstory and his magic. Let's talk about him in the present story. At the beginning, not much to say except at the entrance exam, he refused to accept Asta, and, like every other captain, raised his hand for Yuno, which, unfortunately, Yuno chose the Golden Dawn. Not much else happens until the captain's meeting, which he tries to lighten the mood by putting on makeup and pretending to be Fuegoleon, which makes Nozel and Jack go all, "Hey, just 'cause you're the youngest captain doesn't mean you can joke around like that," which I think I know why they were like that. It was like making fun of a dead soldier, or injured soldier. Honestly, seeing as how I have a lot of servicemen in my family, I might have gotten onto him too. When the mood shifts again, Rill tried to impersonate Nozel, but his hair was too short to pull off those braids. And both of those times, Yami laughed and even patted him on the head. And that was until Rill tried to impersonate him, and then Yami was all, "Okay, shut your mouth! What? I bet you were babied a lot growing up, but I'm not gonna do that. Start acting like a captain," while pointing a sword at him. Yeah, Yami lost his cool, and he rarely loses his cool, so you can tell he was really upset. Guess it's only funny when it's someone else. You know, knowing Fuegoleon, I'm sure he wouldn't have minded the impersonation. I wonder if Charlotte would have, maybe she'd just scoff. So anyway, later that day, when Gelder took a run for it, Rill caught him off guard with his Spring of Restriction. Ooh, to be fair though, Gelder was just running. He wasn't trying to fight, and he was busy with Asta, so he had his guard down. So don't look down on Gelder for that. After catching Gelder, Rill made friends with Asta. See, unlike most nobles and royals, Rill doesn't care about your status. Gotta love that about him. Oh, Asta is closer to him in age, so that might have also been a reason why he was a little closer to him. You know, it's kind of hard for him to socialize with the other captains, you know, seeing the age difference. The downside of being the youngest captain. I can relate. I don't really have the best social skills myself.
Hey, you got me, and I'm your little buddy.
Yeah, Pikachu's got better social skills than me. You know, I wonder how Marileona would have reacted to the imitating. Actually, seeing as how she was smiling about the guys trying to see her along with the other girls naked, I doubt she would have minded about something like that. Oh, but if he did that to Jack, Jack would kill him. No doubt about that. Rill would put up a good fight, but after a few minutes, when Jack's blades gradually adjust to his magic, Rill would have been mincemeat. Rill strong, but Jack stronger. Later at the Star Festival, like I said, the Azora Deer got last place, and Rill was devastated. So devastated that he entered the Royal Knights exam to uphold his squad's reputation, and joined the Royal Knights, which he didn't need to since he's a captain, so he's already in, but he didn't know that until after the exam when Nozel told him. He entered the exam while wearing this mask to disguise himself. Oh, and he was placed on Team I, along with Nils and Ruben. Also, after looking up this for the script, Nils' last name is Raugus, the same name as the Diamond General Yuno beat. Which, minor rant, okay, a little more than minor, I really wish Yuno didn't win. Or, at the very least, I wish he was a little damaged or injured or something. No, he got out of that battle unscathed. But I promised Detective Pikachu that I wouldn't get upset.
Yeah, remember, we made a deal. Stop whining.
Alright. So, in the first round, Rill embarrasses himself by charging straight into and gets ensnared in a plant magic spell. Yeah, not off to a good start, but he redeemed himself, which was what I would expect from the ninth smartest captain. Yeah. Anyway, Team J released 2 spells, one being fire, other being magic. Rill got inspired and encountered with deux tempêtes of fire and ice. Hope I didn't butcher that. And with that, the spell was neutralized and his teammates shattered Team J's crystal. After the match, Rill is contemplating and criticizing his work. Something about he should have used cobalt blue instead of then his teammates were all right, let's go, while dragging him away from his masterpiece. Rill was all, no, please, let me look at it just a little more, please. You know, if it were me, I'd have given him another 5 minutes, but that's just me. Later on, in round 2, Rill was up against Luck's team, and they were using a compound spell, but Rill activated Game of the Gods and sent that puppy right back at them, shattering their crystal. Yeah, they won, which makes sense. They had a captain on their side, but of course, all of these rounds were just build-up for the finals. The final battle being the best fight in the arc. I'm talking about Yuno versus Rill. It was an epic battle, way better than Longris versus Asta, which really is something because that fight was amazing too. You had Yuno going all out, breaking a sweat, which I love it since he's usually the cool calm type. I love it when the cool calm type gets serious, which I really wish he did the same when he fought against Ragus.
Hey, I said don't get upset about that.
Right, I'll stop. Anyway, we also had the first appearance of a Yuno Spirit Dive, which I wonder what Fuegoleon's is going to look like. Anyway, it was all culminating in a beam struggle between Spirit Storm and Scream of the mystical dragon Wyvern. It was amazing. It went back and forth. Will Yuno win or will Rill win? Oh, it looks like Rill's winning. Oh, no, Yuno's pushing through. Is it going to win? And his crystal broke. It was close, but Rill lost. Well, kind of. Rill's power broke his crystal. He didn't lose in terms of power. Honestly, if I were to compare them, I'd say Rill was barely stronger. Like 3% stronger, I'd say. Though they were having the time of their lives, feeling the thrill of battle. They enjoyed it just as much as we did. You should have seen Detective Pikachu. He was all,
go Rill, go Rill!
Yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing!
But back to my previous point, yeah, Rill lost by technicality, not by power. He's not the captain for nothing, but it doesn't really matter because he was going to get put on the Royal Knights anyway. But, like I said, he didn't know Oh,
you already told them this!
Oh yeah. Later in the series, Rill got possessed by an elf, more specifically Lyra, which changed his attribute to scribble magic. And while he was possessed, he, along with Raya and 3 other elves, fought Mereoleona. And I'll be honest, that fight was to show how beast Mereoleona is. Even on a 5 versus 1, she put up an amazing fight. She had to be tier 0 at the time. She had to. But this video's about not Rill, not her. Don't worry, I'll make a video on Mereoleona. Hey, Pikachu, do you think I should do both on Fuegoleon and Mereoleona at the same time?
No! They deserve their own video! They're both amazing!
Yeah, good point. Anyway, back to the story. He fought Asta and Mimosa, and he did pretty well. Then he fought Dwarven Charmy and got totally destroyed. I'm sure he put up a fight off-screen, but he couldn't beat her. And after that, when the place was about to collapse, Charmy carried Rill in her arms to safety. After that, he developed a crush on Charmy, but he doesn't know that it was Charmy. I remember in the Captain's Fight episode, he didn't fight in the Captain's Tournament because he was lovesick. So during the time skip, he, along with Charmy, trained under Petrov, the Spirit Guardian, learning runes and training his magic. You know, Rill after the time skip, he's definitely tier 0. He has to be. Oh, also he cut his hair, which I'm not a big fan of. I like the longer hair better, as you can see. But if that's his style, then that's what he wants to do. That's fine. A couple days later, he, along with the other captains, invaded the Spade Kingdom, which Rill and Charlotte fought Vonica, which that fight was Charlotte's time to shine. Rill was just kind of there. And, well, that's about it, where Rill is in the story right now. I'm sure he'll get another time to shine. I'd say he's probably my third favorite captain. Jack's number 2, and my favorite is Yami. Or actually, I think Rill might be tied with Mereoleona. Yeah, there's a lot of good captains. Yeah, this was the longest script I ever made for a video, and that's saying this had 28 pages. Yeah, I'll be doing... Next video is going to be about the captain of the Purple Orcas, Gelder Poisolt. But that's he's been in the story a lot less, so it won't be nearly as long, hopefully. Alright, you want to end this out?
Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, press that bell icon for more Black Clover and One Piece content.